San Francisco Bay Area is rocked by 4.4 magnitude earthquake along Hayward Fault line that is due for a massive rupture. A magnitude 4.4 earthquake shook the San Francisco Bay Area at 2:39 a.m. PST. The epicenter was in Berkeley, just across the bay from San Francisco. A spokesman for the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services said there were no reports of harm to the region. It happened on the Hayward Fault, one of the most feared in the region because it can produce a large earthquake and runs through heavily populated areas. 30 people died when Hayward last produced a large earthquake in 1868. The population along the fault is now 100 times larger. Hayward produces a large earthquake about once every 160 years. It's been 150 years since the 1868 quake. An earthquake shook California's San Francisco Bay Area early on Thursday, waking many, but there were no immediate reports of damage. The U.S. Geological Survey said the shallow quake was a magnitude 4.4 and occurred at 2:39 a.m. PST. Its epicenter was in Berkeley, across the bay from San Francisco, but was felt up to 40 miles away. A spokesman for the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services said there were no reports of harm to the region. A Berkeley Fire Department dispatcher, who declined to give his name, said more than a dozen people had called, mostly complaining about windows shaking. He also said there were no reports of any damage or injuries. One Twitter user posted a video showing an aisle in a Safeway grocery store in San Leandro, peppered with toiletries that had fallen to the ground. The USGS placed the epicenter of the earthquake next to the Claremont Club and Spa in Berkeley. The historic luxury hotel had no damage, an employee said, declining to give her name. Since everyone in the Bay Area is awake, it's time for the 30-minute dance party. #earthquake, a Twitter user with the name @Troop206 Oakland wrote in a message, as the social media service lit up with comments, many light-hearted. About an hour after the quake, San Francisco's Department of Emergency Management sent a text to residents saying there was no tsunami warning. East Bay residents are being warned to look out for aftershocks, which can happen days and weeks after a quake. But there's also a chance that this was a foreshock, a precursor to a larger earthquake. The USGS's Keith Knudsen told Cron that there's a 5 to 10% chance that a bigger quake is on the way. In the past decade, there have been just 4 quakes about a 4 magnitude. He suggests residents go over their earthquake plans with their families. We live in earthquake country, so we should do all the things they tell us to do, Knudsen said. The earthquake appears to have happened on the Hayward Fault, which is becoming due for a large earthquake. On average, the fault produces a large earthquake every 160 years, with a margin of error of about 80 years. It's been 150 years since the last rupture. The last time the fault produced a massive earthquake was in 1868, when a 6.8 magnitude quake shook the region. 30 people died then and there was extensive damage. The trouble now though is that the population along the fault is 100 times larger, with an estimated 2 million people living directly on top of it. The Hayward Fault, attached to the larger San Andreas Fault system, is one of the most feared in the Bay Area because it can produce a magnitude 7 or greater earthquake and it runs right through heavily populated towns. The USGS calls the fault a tectonic time bomb which could cause hundreds of deaths, leave thousands homeless and devastate the region's economy.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you like, donate to us, visit home on the page PayPal.